My sisters and brothers, as we take a few moments to reflect on the gospel today, there are just a couple of thoughts that really struck me as I was reading and praying on the gospel. And the first one was very simply that the Samaritan was one of the lepers that was cured, which meant that Samaritans and Jews were lepers and they were together. And that struck me because, you know, the Jews hated the Samaritans and the Samaritans hated the Jews. But the Jews had leprosy and the Samaritan had leprosy, and they were in the same bind, and all of a sudden, all that hatred disappeared. All that difference disappeared. It made no difference to them because they all were in need of healing. They all were in need of God. As I was reading that, the thought of 9/11 came to my mind. We might remember 9/11. And I remember one of the TV ads at 9/11. You had everybody, Catholics, Jews, Protestants, black, white, red, pink, green, yellow people, anybody you wanted. They were all getting on the TV with the American flag behind them, and they were all saying, "I'm an American, I'm an American, I'm an American, I'm an American." Tragedy, and all of a sudden, all the difference and all the prejudice and everything else disappeared. Because we all felt the need for God. And perhaps one of the problems we have in our society today, where there is so much prejudice and so much violence and so much anger and so much discord and so much hatred, is because we don't recognize our need for God. All of us need to be healed, and all of us need God. We're all in the same boat. I think that's the first lesson that the gospel teaches us today. And the second lesson that is so clear when we look at the gospel, is the lesson of gratitude. The lesson of gratitude. Only one went back to say thank you. And again, we mentioned yesterday, at least I mentioned yesterday, how often I plead for God to do something for me, and then God does it, and I make, well, for the rest of my life, I'm never going to curse again. We make all these crazy promises. And then we get what we want, and we forgot what we promised. How easy that is. So those lepers, they got what they wanted. Have mercy on us, have pity on us. And then they forgot about everything else. They forgot about God. Only one came back to say thank you. And so that need in my life, that need in your life, to live an attitude of gratitude, to live an attitude of thanksgiving, to recognize that every single thing I have, waking up in this morning, every single thing is a gift from God. Of myself, I can do nothing. But everything is God's gift to me. The very air I breathe is God's gift to me. And do I remember to say thank you? I think those lessons are important lessons for us today. That we need God's healing, all of us, because we are truly sisters and brothers. And we need to live this attitude of constantly being in thanksgiving for everything that we have. God bless you.